What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. I think on some level we all knew this was coming. Someone who claims to have worked on Avengers Endgame internationally took to the internet late Monday night or early Tuesday morning, depending on where you were at. When the reports started coming out yesterday of this post, it explained not only the first 15 to 20 minutes of the film, but also some sporadic plot points throughout the film that seem to make sense in the context of everything we've seen. So the normal spoiler warning applies if you don't want to know anything about Avengers Endgame, which begs the question as to why you even clicked on this video in the first place. Then please back out now before we break down everything this guy said about the intro and sporadic plot points for the film. But first, if you could, grab the subscribe button. We're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel-related stuff, including tickets to go see Avengers Endgame in IMAX. We're also giving away a pair of tickets at the end of this video, so be sure to stick around for that. All you have to do to enter to win is hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and like I said, if you want, stick around to the end of the video. I'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there and announce the winner. So this Reddit post can be attributed to Reddit user AJS2nd, and he claims to have, quote, worked on a little bit of the film and partook in an initial screening of the first third to half of the movie. Basically saying, guys, I didn't see the whole thing, and that's why he only has the first half and then some other plot points that he worked on. And that falls exactly in line with what the other actors and studios said, that they were super secretive and they didn't let anybody see the whole picture. So last chance to back out now before we read through and break this whole thing down. Avengers Endgame opens with melancholy music playing over the Marvel logo. Tony's message for Pepper is cut short with bits of him and Nebula on the ship playing a game, which, side note, we've heard now might actually be ping pong, working and talking. Shows decline in the ship's well-being until they're in a dark bluish green lighting. Tony's looking into space, very thin and scrawny. It's been 22 days since the decimation. The title card plays in complete silence as it's dusted away. We see Thanos on his beautiful planet. He mostly walks and explores his farm and speaks to the gauntlet, which gradually repairs itself. Very interesting. And Thanos' injuries as well. He talks about his dream being actualized and how he's satisfied. He decides he no longer needs the gauntlet and tries to destroy it, but fails. A bright explosion flash of light takes us to the next scene. We pan into the Avengers facility and we see everything is in chaos. The death count rises and a roster of missing allies is shown. Everyone is distraught. Some Avengers return from searching for Nick Fury and a massive signal originating from his point of death. They have the device used to contact Captain Marvel. They take it for analysis and power it up. Rhodes is left to look after it. There's some interesting interactions between the characters, and then comes on the post-credit scene for Captain Marvel. Cuts back to Tony and Nebula. Tony suddenly wakes up and Nebula is sitting there watching him, remarking on his state. He makes a comment about her being fine, but she admits not for long. Tony talks about a guy called Yenzin and some of the things from the past. Nebula talks about Thanos and Gamora. They pull together to make one last push for survival. They use the parts of Nebula and Tony's suit to reach a jump point. They arrive in the solar system. The sun shines on them as they cruise towards Earth, and perhaps that's the shot of Tony looking out his window, finally seeing the sun. Cuts back to the Avengers facility. Captain America shaves his beard. Black Widow comes in and tells him to get outside. They run out to the lawn where they see a ship flying in. They prepare to fight, but Rocket Raccoon identifies the ship as his. It lands and Tony stumbles out. He sees Pepper, who is unexplainably with the Avengers. They embrace, but he quickly collapses. Rocket walks over to Nebula, who sits defeated on the bay door. He asks what became of his crew, but she says nothing. He sits by her sadly. The survivors, spare Tony, who's recovering medical, discuss the events of Infinity War. They are quick to want to take action, particularly Captain Marvel. Nebula tells them where she thinks they could find Thanos. They line it up with the traced energy signature from Thanos trying to destroy the gauntlet. Guys, side note, that's what that second energy signal is. It's like, what would look as big as the snap? Well, all the energy needed to destroy the gauntlet itself. And that's what plays out in the scene. What takes next is the footage they showed at CinemaCon and his shareholders, and we got it on Monday, which lines up with when he released this Monday night. Bruce Banner goes into Tony's bedside to explain the plan, as they are both not joining the team on the mission to the garden. So basically, Hulk and Tony stay back. It makes sense, though, because Hulk hasn't showed up yet, so he wouldn't be able to fight. It would just be Bruce Banner inside the Hulkbuster, which isn't that effective, and then Tony's obviously in horrible shape. Tony thinks it's a bad idea, so does Bruce. However, they are both powerless to do anything. Tony breaks down crying in a touching moment. Meanwhile, the Avengers are aboard the repaired ship and confront Thanos. Rocket makes a comment about travel sickness from space. We've all heard about that. They fly off into space, and Tony watches from the window. The Avengers find Thanos and do battle with him on his farm. He has the upper hand, but Thor whittles him down before Captain Marvel enters and tries to finish him off. She does serious damage to Thanos. In response, though, he uses the gauntlet to suspend all of the Avengers and force them to watch as he disintegrates her. He evacuates and leaves the Avengers shell-shocked. He goes on to say, "I have little details of my own to provide about the next part, but it's been about 2 years since Infinity War and the start of Endgame after this. This is denoted by Black Widow's hair and the breakdown of society. The Avengers are broken. Tony seems to be again afflicted by PTSD and works on suits. Steve Rogers runs support groups. Rocket and Thor have gone AWOL. Black Widow is full of resent, but hears rumors about Hawkeye and goes searching for him. However, they are all brought back together by the reappearance of Ant-Man, who found a way back from being stuck in the quantum realm. They formulate some kind of plan wearing the red and white suits, but not all of the characters seen wearing them in the trailers and marketing are actually wearing one. This is part of whatever happens next, and he doesn't know much. He says it was kept strictly under wraps, but Bruce Banner is caught in some sort of energy surge. Whatever their plan has done has had some adverse effect on Thanos. He is angered and destroys the Avengers base and the surrounding area with some sort of orbital strike. He teleports down using the donut ship beam, as he does not have the gauntlet. He is furious with the Avengers and unleashes the Spider Dog aliens, I guess he means the Outriders, to attack them. That's awesome. He fights Stark, Cap, and Thor in the ruins. Hawkeye and the others fight in the sublevels of the base. He is chased out by the Outriders in the tunnels while carrying something. Thor is impaled and killed on Thanos' blade. Whoa. Captain America is enraged and tries to fight, but Iron Man takes him and flies off. There is another huge gap in the film, he says. At some point, Giant Man runs through the city. Oh, the return of Giant Man. Awesome. There's a scene of Tony Stark in Wakanda, but yeah, we know that from plot leaks, where Vision's body is set up like a statue or a tribute. The final events of the movie are extremely secretive. However, I was able to gather that Thanos survives the movie. That would be certainly interesting, and I'm not calling that at all. He uses the Space Stone alone to teleport itself across the universe and escape the Avengers. He has a line about the repercussions against the Avengers. Also, quick side note though, guys, at the end, when the Infinity Watch is set up and when the stones are actually all split up, Thanos is actually granted one of the Infinity Stones to be a keeper of it, as he knows and understands the power and the effect of the stones. That's part of the duality that comes into play with Adam Warlock in the original Infinity Gauntlet. There's a whole different thing going on there for Thanos' arc, and considering how much the Russos and Marvel Studios have changed Thanos, it's hard to say if that's intended or they just rather want one of the stones still with Thanos to leave him as a leading threat. That is super interesting. Lastly, it goes on to say there are a few rumors he has heard in and around the inside work. Supposedly there is a secondary villain who isn't named but is easy to guess for comic fans. He doesn't play a significant role in the movie, but apparently appears midway through and then at the end as well. There's also supposed to be a massive final battle that sees all of the disintegrated heroes return to join the fight. The cost of returning the universe to order is supposed to have massive consequences that will span the next few movies, possibly leading into Doctor Strange and what would have been Guardians of the Galaxy 3, maybe still yet to be foreseen. I've also heard of a funeral scene with the two deceased characters. Would that be Thor and Captain Marvel? It's hard to tell who would be dead at this point or who would come back if they're bringing all the disintegrated characters back. Maybe two of the final deaths happen in that massive fight. Lastly, the end shot of the movie is supposed to be a team shot of the new Avengers with Captain Marvel standing at the front, but none of the original 6 Avengers present. He also goes on to say real quickly that Spider-Man is supposed to quit. There's a scene where he quits, and also an upgraded costume for Star-Lord that's blue, like the one that we see Rocket wearing, as well as some comic original suits for some of the other members like Falcon, which doesn't make any sense to me if none of the original 6 are there. I guess Falcon isn't one of the original 6, but okay, yeah, I guess that does actually make sense. Okay, quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're giving away 2 PlayStation Pros at the 300 and 400,000 subscriber mark. Also, the winner of the ticket giveaway today is UTX the Angel, for his comment, the longest 22 days in MCU history. Man, you're not kidding. You won the tickets to go see Avengers Endgame in IMAX. If you could, DM me on my Instagram. I'll get your information and get those over to you via email. We're still giving away the PlayStations. We're still giving away tickets and these Marvel Trendsetters limited edition, limited run plaques containing film cells. It's super simple, guys. If you want to win any of this stuff, all the same rules apply. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a like and a comment on this video, then hit the notification bell because the more videos that you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. We'll be giving away the tickets every Wednesday and Friday leading up to the movie. We'll be giving away these plaques every Friday until and after the movie comes out, as well as the PlayStations at the 300 and 400,000 subscriber mark, which, if we don't hit that 300,000 subscriber mark by Endgame, there's a chance I'll probably just go ahead and give it away early anyway. My name is Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. I sincerely appreciate your guys' support over this last year. It's been an absolute nuts run. I can't thank you guys enough. I look forward to the future of the MCU and doing videos for you guys and breaking this all down. Thanks for your support and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.